Hello, everybody. We are here. I almost said we're back, but we're here for the first time in 2023 from the new location. For those of you who watch my channel, I don't normally look like I've got this set up. I'm also kilometers from the camera. Anyways, we're here with episode number 4 of One Shot, and we have a lot to talk about. But of course, I'm joined by none other than Del Rey, my co-caster from the LAN, and one of the players from the winning team of the LAN, Mr. Beats. How's everyone doing?
Great. Good. A new year, so I just can't wait to see what's in store for COD.
I couldn't have said any better, man. It's going to be a good year, setting the stage from the LAN, obviously. That's pretty much what we're going to be talking about mainly. But if anyone is wondering what the general topics for tonight are going to be, because we have to get through quite a bit. I'll tell you in 1 second. Okay, right. So we're going to talk about... We're going to have a quick chat with Jean about how things happened, talking about what we liked about the LAN, some of the things we didn't like about the LAN, what could have been a little bit extra, could have been done a little bit differently. We're going to talk about some of the things like almost like an After Effect award show. And the topics we're going to be covering are rookie, player that underperformed, best map performance, surprise team of the LAN. We're adding another one in there called the Dark Horse of the LAN, best AR, best sub, and overall MVP. And then there's a couple of more spicy things we're going to talk about, mainly something about Nixa and what is planned for Call of Duty in 2023. And of course, we're going to, hopefully in the next one, we'll have one of the TOs or maybe multiple of the TOs in yet so we can get a little more information. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. Anyways, thank you everyone for pulling through on this weird Tuesday evening in January.
And even with load shedding going on, hopefully we can get the views up there. And I know the load shedding is literally eating my internet up. So I don't know how the quality is going to look from my side, but yeah, we had a LAN. I can't believe it. We had a LAN. We had an absolute blast,
dude,
in Joburg.
It was so cool.
It was such good time.
It was amazing. No, it was so fun.
And meeting all of these people in person, I think that was probably the coolest thing for me. It's just like actually seeing human beings in real life. Del Rey is so sexy in 1440p. Del Rey's internet's currently conking, guys. Don't take it out of him, man.
Absolutely beautiful. But again, it was the first LAN in 3 years, and it was the first time we met majority of the people there.
Literally, it was insane.
And I must say the group of people we had around us 24/7, and John can tell you as well. At the house, at the Vibe house, we had Bevan over, we had Mage over, we had so many different people over from different teams, and it was just so nice having a braai, having a drink, chatting. Let's go to the casino and not losing at the casino, you know.
Yeah,
like who can tell you that? And as you can see, Bevan saying Blackjack King, and it
he is though.
itself.
That's facts. It was a lot of fun. The first time ever walking into a casino, and I the first one I lost $200, and then the second one I made 600. And I remember because we played with Leah and Mage and all those guys, and Leah was like walking me through everything because I really didn't know anything about blackjack. And then she's like, just whatever you win, just put it in your pocket. So I was like, sweet. And then like every now and again I'd win, and I'd like stuff little chips into my pocket. And then at the end of it, everyone's like, okay, cool, let's go. And they're like taking out chips. And I'm like pulling out. I'm like literally a stack of chips that was that high, and then the lady looks across me like the dealer, which is like, I can give you a chip for that. It was like $1,000 chip. It was really sick. It was so much fun.
Yeah, no, it was so fun, and really for this year of 2023, like I really hope we can have more. Comic-Con is around the corner. That is held in Cape Town, so I don't know if something's going to happen there. And if something does, I think it's going to go through ACGL again.
Yeah, just for some numbers, right? If we want to talk about how, in terms of sponsorship, everyone's happy. On the grand finals, we had over 200 people on the Twitch stream while we were casting and the games were happening. But just in terms of numbers around the stand, all of the seats were full, and then behind them there was just a wall of people just watching. Like there must have been over 500 people total physically watching. I think plus the 200 in the stream itself. It was crazy. It was really, 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 really awesome.
Yeah, there was a moment we were casting, or just after we casted, we had a little look at Twitch at all the different games that was hosted at the LAN, and Call of Duty outshined everyone with viewers.
Literally,
we had people? Was it Rocket League with 30 viewers here, and I think some other games with 15.
Yeah, we were at one stage when like, I mean, look, FIFA's a big, I'm not here to throw shade at FIFA, right? But FIFA is big enough in this country that the actual like football organizations come out and and they have like teams, like esports teams for FIFA, and they were sitting on like 15, 20 viewers, and we had 50 on intermission screens. So like we had, I think the lowest we dipped for the whole tournament, I'm not joking, was probably about 40. And that was when the stream was starting, and then like between games. And there was a lot of resets. Like the schedule was so delayed because the venue had generators, but whenever Eskom turned off the electricity, we'd have like this weird dead zone for about half an hour up to an hour where we were waiting for the electricity to turn off, so everything can shut down and then start up again without damaging the PC. So like everything was just delayed a crazy amount, but it came through, and this is what I'm saying. So like even our lowest views were in the 40s, and then our highest was in the 200. I don't even think the medal state, CSGO Grand Finals got that much, if we're being honest.
Yeah. And I have to applaud ACGL for. I don't think there's one game that we were caught mid game with load shedding.
No, 100%.
Everyone, they played it perfectly, waiting for the load shedding to hit and waiting for it to come on. Yes, Saturday went way late into the night. Thank goodness. And it wasn't my team playing because I would have been fuming. But but again, they did a really good job. Keeping an eye on load shedding.
100%. Right. Okay. So enough about everything like that. Let's actually get to the topics. Otherwise, we're going to be talking kake for the next 5 years. Right. So some of the things we liked about the LAN. That's the first topic we talk about there. Let's start us off, Delray. What are you feeling? Before you get into that, Nilo asked what's one shot. So anyone who is new here who hasn't seen, this is like our podcast. Where we talk about all things Call of Duty South Africa related, and pretty much all esports, everything sort of bleeds in. We talk about drama and everything like that, but it's just we're trying to make this the hub for all news and everything like that. We work closely with the Call of Duty ZA Intel page, and so that's pretty much the mission here, is to keep everyone educated. All right, carry on. Sorry, Delray, I cut you off.
Yeah, things we liked. At the beginning, we were all stressed about, the viewers, can they come watch, the spectators, can they be there? And I feel like ACGL did a really good job in making sure that we have those spectators, that the main stage had obviously the spectators, but with the group stages, they couldn't really watch. But I saw at half an hour in, they made a decision to have chairs sitting right in front so that people don't walk through and bump people while they're playing. So I think that's a really great thing from ACGL, so that they hosted the spectators. The other thing I liked is the Friday that we went on to scrim. I think a lot of teams needed those scrims just to see where they are, because no one has really played LAN other than my team and Dow before. I know there was a lot of new people that has never played LAN. So I think that Friday was a crucial one for a lot of teams that I liked.
But I mean, that was an easy way to break the ice, right? That's how everyone really got to, because the way they worked it. I mean, that's another thing that I really liked, is ACGL managed to cordon off a very large section of the NAGLAN just for Call of Duty. So all of the teams got their own desk, basically, whereas in NAGLAN, you just find an open spot, right? So we had a little cordoned off area, and then everyone could go and scrim and everything like that. And the other thing was connection. Because of where we were in Joburg, the highest ping I saw was like 5 or 6 ping. Like, it was actual LAN conditions, which is crazy.
No, I must say, closest to the LAN we could have gotten. And I know some people online at home, like Ryan Reigns, he gets a 1 ping but doesn't utilize it. It's the joke we make. But again, the other one that I'd like to mention is when we had the discussion, or let's say the little problem of not having our controllers overclocked on the main stage, because we didn't have the overclocking program. ACGL obviously in the beginning said no, and then we went to them and showed them it's not a big deal, we can do this, and they accommodated us. So making that change was massive, because I can tell you now, as a pro player, and Juan can, pro player in South Africa can say, is a lot of people would have said that was a fluke win on the main stage if they didn't get their controllers overclocked.
100%. Because some teams, I mean, they were ready not to play on main stage. They were ready to just stay in the little cornered section to play to continue the LAN. They needed that overclock because they're so used to that online. And if they don't have that on LAN as well, it's like, everyone's on the same thing, but it just feels different. It feels off. So it wouldn't have felt genuine.
Well, but after a bit of convincing, we managed to twist Dylan's arm, luckily, and
Yeah.
because but I look from an admin point of view, I really do understand why he was reluctant at first. But once we explained it, and somebody told him, I don't know who it was, but out of the woodwork, he got a comment that like in order to have that program to overclock your controller, you have to reset the PCs when they're done, like completely factory reset. I was like, that has just made the situation so much harder to
So
deal
much-
with.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
genuinely. Like, yeah, but anyway, so we got that sorted, and I agree. That was another great thing. I just think overall, production-wise, it was really, really, really excellent.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. It was really, really good.
big shout out to Reggie there as well.
Yeah, man.
Making sure,
Machine.
yeah, legend, making sure that everything's running perfectly. And we had a little audio issue in the beginning, but that got sorted and with Nick and the SGL crew. So I must say, for our first LAN in like a couple of years, it basically went flawless.
Yeah, well, as flawless as it could be with ESCOM and everything like that. Like, technicality-wise, I really feel like this was as good as a LAN as we were going to get. The only thing that I think we could have done a little bit better is we could have gotten maybe 1 or 2 more teams, but I suppose there was an entry fee and everything along those lines. And it sounds like, speaking to Nick a little bit, it sounds like Predator didn't really mind. They were very happy with the turnout. So, look, guys, there's a very, very, very strong possibility that we'll be getting another maybe 1 or 2 LANs in the year if we keep the support up.
Yeah, no,
I mean, also I like that it was so smooth. The LAN was it ran so smooth as well. There's not that many issues. So the only really issue there was probably load shedding, but like that's not in their control.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
obviously ESCOM. But yeah, no, it was a good LAN. I mean, it ran smooth, and I mean, for me, one of the best things is just meeting everybody, like saying hello to people you play online and seeing the face you're playing against. And I mean, I hope Josh is watching this, Trip 9. But every single time I challenge him in the game, I will only see his purple hoodie now. I can't see anything else. I can see his purple hoodie with I think there's like a milk carton on it or something. But I mean, that's all I see now in that shell. So like, that's the way it is. But it's so fun just seeing everyone and their personalities in real life. It's just so nice to see. That was the best part for me, I would say.
Yeah, dude. And of course, Brody's girlfriend standing up and yelling at Kane, play your game. That was amazing. Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah.
You know, things like that,
hilarious.
you just don't get while sitting at home, you know, and that's why we urge like every single person, if you're a free agent and you're struggling to get a team, get yourself out there, get into a pickup team, have some fun, go to those LANs. Yeah, it's going to cost you a couple of grand to enter, but it's worth it.
If you
I'll do it all over again.
I would absolutely just to see everyone again. To be honest, that was that was such a jewel.
That's the big thing. Like, don't need to think you're gonna lose, or even if you're not gonna win, whatever. Don't have that mindset. Because I know a lot of the lower teams, they think like, yeah, they're gonna play the LAN and they're just gonna get knocked out immediately. That type of thing. But I think like coming in with that mindset, it's not a good thing, because you got to try and enjoy the experience and just make it more than just winning, I guess. Because obviously that is the goal for everyone, to win. But I mean, there is other things you can look forward to as well.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's what I think.
Like, I agree with you. But even having said that, like, if you're going to go out there with the mentality that you're going to get knocked out early, this tournament, top 8 got paid out, and 8th place got $2,000.
Yeah, true.
So like, if you even played top 8, which means you just had to make it through groups, you were walking away with enough that your entry ticket cost you $100. So like, even that's not really an excuse anymore, because of when we came together and we said, listen guys, we need more of an incentive for more players to get there, a larger payout. And I mean, the first prize was 15K to walk away with that. So there was still a large payout for the top team. And then everyone else who made the group play or passed the group play got money. So like, I just really feel in terms of structure, ACGL did a fantastic job as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I agree also, but I also don't. Just for the fact that when I look at the BRs and I look at Fortnite, like when I think Fortnite prize pool, I think first place all the way down to 10th or 12th or somewhere around there. Where with Call of Duty, all your traditional Call of Duty tournaments and LANs was always first, second, and third. Now we're trying to be nice to help, you know, people sign in or sign up and give 6th or 5th to 8th place. Where I think we just went too far to accommodate, you know, up until 8th place. Where if we did the traditional way of 1, 2, 3, you know, they walk away with more because they put more time in, and you know they won. So I'm going to take an excuse or the example of EGE, or people didn't get paid out for that, but if you came first, you had 35 grand in your pocket. Where now you win now and you get 15 with more or less the same price pool.
Fair, but I mean, I think it's we need to start somewhere. And on top of that, if we're running off of, and this is something that ACGL really does try to do, they try to mirror the league, and the league plays out until top 8 as well. So it's only the bottom 4 teams that don't get money in the major. So I think traditionally, I agree with you that top 3 used to be the big payouts, especially for majors, but now it's been moved to top 8.
I think the top 8 helps with the growth side of things.
100%.
Like it all.
Yeah, well, the growth wise, yes, 100%. I agree. For LANs, maybe that's the way. And obviously online, they'll just keep it top 3. That
I think that's different though. I think for a LAN, it is a payout, but for online tournaments, I think top 3, even top 4, that's fair. Anything below that, then because online you don't need to do anything, you just show up and play, right? Yeah.
But again, if we're just speaking about a LAN, and I'll run you through our weekend, like obviously you go to a LAN to compete and to win, but I'm gonna speak from our point of view now with Viben. We arrived on Wednesday. We invited almost all of our close friends over for a braai, and Wednesday. Oh, sorry for that call. No, it's Caden. It's actually Caden. I don't know what does he want. Listen, I'm gonna put him on loudspeaker. Caden, you on loudspeaker? What do you want?
What happened?
What happened? What?
The stream's alive.
What?
The stream is what? Offline.
The stream's still live.
Yes,
it's
you are
just
loudspeaker.
started.
Everyone can hear you.
Bro, I'm literally watching it. It's like it says that the stream ended.
It's
Okay,
up for me.
well,
It's
yeah.
up for me.
Okay, it's up this side. Maybe it's your problem, Debris.
Okay, well,
Yeah, Max has said the stream's fine as well.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Well, again, with
Wednesday.
the team, like Wednesday, we had everyone over. We had a huge chaos. It was one of our closest mates, Sheldon, his birthday. So the next day we had huge babalas.
Shield.
But again, we went out Thursday again. We went out to the Texas Wing Bar at Monty. Had a blast. We gambled. Got home at like 1. Then scrims on Friday. Went out for a team supper. Came back home. Saturday played. Had just takeaways. I think it was Saturday. Yes, it was takeaways. And then Sunday played the LAN. And went out again, had the biggest jaw. Monday jaw again, and then Tuesday back. So this whole LAN thing is not just going and playing. It's meeting people, having a vibe, going out together. Just building a bond, basically.
Literally, a big fat jaw. If anyone was wondering, it was a fat jaw. It was literally so much fun.
Whoever missed out, I feel sorry for you.
It's okay. We'll try to get another one for all the people that are in Cape Town that couldn't afford it. We're going to try to get the next one in Cape Town. That's what we're aiming at here. It'll save me so much money. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now we've spoken about all of the good things. Now for the things we didn't really like. What were the kind of lowlights from the LAN?
I don't know if I like. At the beginning, or just before the LAN, but I don't think this falls on ACGL, obviously, is just before the LAN, we all decided, okay, the M4 is going. And that might have made the path for certain teams more difficult, I think, with the M4 gone. So other than a drastic change, I think that's the only negative I would say I'll take away from it, because ACGL was flawless. I don't really see any problems. I just thought the M4 and the sudden change is going to impact a lot of teams.
What
I think for me,
Sorry, carry on.
Sorry.
I'll cut you off there.
I think for me as well, I agree. Like with the M4 swap, like just before the LAN, that also kind of was like for my team was like, like okay, now we have to like play a new game basically. Because I mean, a lot of people that's debatable. Okay, a lot of people will debate with me on that. But you're so used to a certain type of pacing with an M4. I feel like the game is different. And when you get down to a score, it's not as fast anymore. So it is a slower game. So I think it does change a lot. But I mean, it ended up working out for us. What can I say? But but yeah, the M4 being gone
obviously the AI is too both.
There's no shot.
Okay, anyways, the info was kind of bleak to get rid of. But also, I think for me, okay, besides anything else, I don't have a problem with the LAN at all. The LAN was perfect, whatever, everything was good. So I don't have anything I had no dislikes. What I did dislike though was traveling with my equipment, and that was stressful because I don't know if my stuff was gonna make it, and I was nervous the whole time. And I mean, even Caden's PC, it got to the house, and then he took it out the suitcase, and it had a dent on the one side. So like when he took his out first, I was stressing. I was like, okay, if you have a dent, what do I have? But luckily, everything was chilled. But I think for me, traveling with equipment was very scary. That was the only thing I didn't like.
And I think that's a tough one as well, again, for ACGL, because they did in the end manage to get a main stage, the passion pit as we called it, like where they got PCs together, but they obviously didn't have enough to host an entire LAN that way. But maybe
there's no way around taking your setup, right? I think it's always you're just gonna have to travel with it, I guess.
Especially if you're coming, okay, I think a good example of that is for people, now that it's moved over to PC, it was a lot easier when it was on console, when everyone had like sort of the same equipment. But now, say you come from a 3090 or maybe even a 4090 if you're really lucky, and you get onto the stage and they're running 2070s, like then you're really going to feel like you're taking a serious knock. Then you'll choose to fly with your equipment or anything along those lines. And another one here that Slick said, background noise from Ethan. It was a struggle, genuine. They were talking over us the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, that was also another thing, actually. You are completely right. I remember being in a scrim with Nixa, and Brandon says in game chat, can someone shut that guy up while we're trying to play the game? You just shouted at us.
Yeah, like, obviously, that's out of ACGL's, like, obviously they can ask, can you keep it down? But I can bet you they wouldn't.
Yeah, 100%.
Or for the first 10 minutes they will, but after that, you really couldn't do much. But yeah, and the other one that I'll mention myself, because the speakers of our casting or whatever was right next to the players. So
I caught some shade for this.
I caught some shade for this. So yeah, I spoke to and I listened to it back on like literally as I got into the car, and I listened back the final just to hear if I did say anything and anyone reacted weirdly, but there wasn't any. And ACGL said they'd look into it, but they haven't reached out yet, so I guess there's nothing wrong. But again, I think that's the only thing that hopefully we can change. It is very difficult as casters in Search and Destroy not say anything. Like, it's very difficult trying to keep quiet when someone's making a good play.
Especially a big play, and I agree. And I think but that's it's also just a factor of space and the floor plan that where the speakers were. It did make it difficult, but luckily it wasn't anything over the top, and it doesn't matter. The team, from what I understand, the one I think it was Ariel where they were offered the replay, they chose not to do it anyway. They were like, they took it really well. Yeah. They said it's a LAN environment. What can you do? And that's the other thing I really enjoyed the sportsmanship from the teams. There weren't any real like bastards out there that were trying to be toxic or anything like that. It was pretty good, except for maybe Inferno who wanted to have a boxing match.
One GA break, Juan.
One GA break, smoking S&D from Patilla, and then let me actually tell that story quickly. It'll be quick. Okay, Patilla uses smoke in S&D against us. Caden lost full immediately. You know my teammate Caden. Everyone knows my teammate Caden. He lost full immediately when he saw him using smokes. So because he lost full, I lost full. And then Max lost full. So we were all kind of like we were just pissed. And then after the match, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry guys, I didn't know about the GA." But you know what's funny? He plays another team and does the same thing, and then he tells the team he didn't know that was the GA as well. So I don't know what Patilla was doing there, but I think he was playing his cards right.
That is hilarious. What a legend. Man, plausible deniability, eh? But
yeah, it is.
That wasn't the Troutlets, no. Tilla was in the other one. He was in the burners or something like that. Anyway, okay. So overall, it sounds like we were rather positive about this LAN. Not much happening around there. Okay, so next one. What do we have here? I had it open and I've just closed the chat.
Yeah, well, let's have a chat with Juan and his way through. So, obviously, you guys won the whole thing, Juan. And obviously, that thing had to come up behind me. It's a beautiful check. I thought I'd break it coming to PE.
Oh, it's the
The
chick. Yo,
chick
the
with-
11440p is hard to see it, man. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I know. It's very difficult. But run us through did you feel confident going into the tournament? How did scrims go beforehand? Even before you got to LAN? First talk to me, how did scrims go online?
Online scrims weren't going that great. So I don't know, like we weren't winning scrims, but obviously my team, we prepared in a way that we didn't really care about winning scrims. But obviously you have a lot of people that are saying things, so you just can't let that get to your head as well, because like lots of people will say like, I'm not going to name names, but some people would say like, yeah, no, Viben's new team's kind of easy, or you know, Viben's team is like, it's kind of, we're winning scrims against them and all that. But my team, we prepared in a way that we were practicing specific things every single time we went into scrims. So I wasn't too stressed when it was coming to the LAN, because I just knew for a fact that everything we practiced like bit by bit would fall together at LAN. And I mean, it showed on the scrims on the first day. So I'll get to that now. But yeah, I was confident going into the LAN because I knew everything would come together. But on the Friday, we ended up scrimming Nixa, and on the Saturday, those scrims went amazing, and I expected it to go amazing because I just knew that my team would just fall into place. And I think Caden can agree with that, because we were both very, very focused on, like, I'm just gonna say, like, we were focused on like strats, and we were focused on how to play certain heals. We were very focused on certain scenarios in a map, and obviously situations won't be accurate all the time, but we try to play like that as, like, I don't know, as correct as we can, put it that way. But it was good. I mean, I was confident, my team was confident, and everything just fell into place. So yeah.
Came in guns up and it worked out.
Yeah, I can vouch that our scrim, Juan can say what happened, and I think it was just before we went to LAN, we played a scrim, and I left mid scrim.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it anymore, because one, we sounded flat, no one was coming, there was complaining that we didn't do the right strats, and I just said, fuck it, I'm out, I'm not putting myself through this, and I went offline. So, and then obviously the stress kicks in, because we're spending all this money, flying all our players out, we're going to a LAN, and I don't feel like we're ready. And then, yeah, Friday happens, and I instantly get a relief feeling, because everyone's locked in, and this is only scrims, yes, but we're doing everything we should, we're comming everything we should. So Friday made me feel 100 times better.
Well, I don't know how to have a team, so like, but yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely a confidence boost.
You had a team, you had Troutlets.
Yeah, the Troutlets. Yeah, that's another thing. Yo,
Troutlets.
shout out to the Troutlets. They made top 8. So like everyone gets some shade. They were like throwing together teams. Those who were not throwing together teams, they lost to the Troutlets. What's up? They made some money. Yo, put some respect.
Let's go. And then Juan, and then leading into Saturday, first game, lead us through until Sunday.
Okay, so we played Ritty and Co first. That was a pretty good game. I mean, I think, if I remember correctly, it was a bit like shaky at the start, but then we picked it up very nicely, and it was quick. The game went quick. And then Monarch, we played next. Monarch was I think they were probably the underdogs in that whole tournament. They were really good. I'm pretty sure that's a team with Josh, coach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Monarch.
Yeah. Monarch, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
They're a really good team. They played really well. I mean, I think they took a lot of the top teams to like, I don't know, it was very close maps. So I don't know. I have a lot of respect for that team. They were really good. And then we played Tiller and Co. And then obviously Tiller wants to break the GA on us, so that they take the S&D. And then we win every other map. And then it's Nixa. Then it's Aerial. And then that was also very, very tough, because I remember in that series, I think we lost the Albagra HP, and I was not nervous, but I was a bit like, okay, like this team is obviously no joke. And I mean, going into the LAN, we knew that this team wasn't a joke, but I didn't think it would be like that. And I mean, they kind of shocked. I think they shocked my team a bit in that sense in the first series we played them. But we ended up winning that one 3-1, I'm pretty sure. And then we played Nixa. That was a very, very good series. I was very impressed with our Zarko HP against them, because I mean, we had, Max was going, he was going off. Like, if you watch that Zarko back, he was destroying everybody. It was like no one really had to do much. And then I think, was it the Aerial series? I don't know if you guys can help me remember, but there was a Mikado S&D that Reno got like 14 kills in. I'm trying to remember. Yeah,
It was
14-2.
Yeah.
He
It
went absolutely.
It
Yeah, I
was
know.
aerial grand final.
I haven't shouted that much for Reina in my life, and I mean I'll do it again. And I'm not gonna lie, I think it's low-key the team bonding we had at the house. You know, kind of sleeping in the same bed before the LAN. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yo, what's going on in the vibe in the house right now?
So what are you saying? You sleep together and win
No,
games?
listen. Reina was crying for some reason. And then Caden's S&D.
man.
Caden snipes in that last S&D against Aerial was like, it was ridiculous. I mean, they couldn't get past. He had everything covered. I mean, we had a setup going on where he would watch this like little angle from closed door, and then I would just chow when he sees someone, and that worked every single time. And I mean, he would pick off some people that would try and cross as well, and that's a very difficult snipe, and not everyone can do it. So Caden was going ham with a sniper. So yeah, those are all the games we played, and I mean, I think out of all those games, my favorite series was the last one, the Aerial Grand Final. That was definitely the most entertaining because it was always close. It was not like, it wasn't a blowout. It was close. It went to the end. But yeah, those are the games.
I asked you this as well after you guys won, was after you guys get into the tournament and HP looks untouchable. No one really touches your HP.
Battery low.
And it's just Aerial, right? Aerial is the only team that takes HPs off us. Now they take the second HP, and it's 2-2.
Yes.
Heading into map 5, did you still feel confident? Did you still feel like you're gonna take this?
Honestly, I mean, as soon as we lost the HP, I was like, okay, wow. I was a bit nervous. Not shaking, but I was a bit nervous. But I mean, when we had a bit of a chat, we had a team talk before we got into the S&D, and I think everyone just relaxed, like everyone just composed up, and it went to round 11, but I mean, I was still confident that we were going to win that S&D. I knew we were going to win that S&D. I just had that sense. I mean, I think my team can vouch for that because we just felt, even though it was close, that last map, it felt like we were ahead in a sense, like we were ahead of the game. So I mean, I was still confident.
Nah, it came off of Maxi chelling dude, no one chells like that man in S&D. I don't care what anyone says. Man walks over A, just walks up, walks down, and gets a double kill, and that was the end of round 11. There was just, literally was crazy.
Max was a bit of a demon at LAN, I won't lie. Like, I don't think anyone was on his game. No one was close to his game.
With an SMG.
There was no one else. It was so good, and I'll be biased
and
for
again,
that.
if I'm talking to Max, right, and Max speaking to me, it is just about COD, right? It is just about angles and this guy and doing this and doing that. And I must say, if you want a complete teammate, it is Max. He was the exact right. We as Viben, we made a team change 2 weeks before the LAN, right? And we got Max. And I'm telling you now, I don't think we win this LAN if we didn't have Max.
Max was definitely
not just because of his gunny, because his communication, his rotations, he's just all-round teamwork is an incredible teammate to have.
And the fact that he holds the controller like the weirdest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I don't think anyone plays like that.
Dude, I sat behind him to watch him play like a bit of HP, and man, like absolutely gremlins out. He sits like this, but the way, I don't even have my controller out here to show you. He plays like Claw, but I've never seen something. And how people when you like playing with a trigger, like how normal people pull a trigger like this. Man has his finger bent at a 90 and he uses this part to press shoot. Like
he double claws.
It's so weird, but it works. It works so well.
I'll just say one more thing before I get ripped.
Yeah.
Okay, so I also want to put some respect on Caden's name as like a captain and an IGL. Like he definitely helped the team. I'll say it like 100% honest like that. I think Caden definitely played a big role in the team's composure, because there would be times where like you would see like we would lose a map, and obviously when the team the opposite side of the of the main stage, they're gonna get up and start shouting immediately. Caden looks at us, we look at him, and we all just start talking about the next map immediately. We don't even like pay attention to what's happening on the other side. And Caden was good at that. He was good at pulling the attention away from that. And I mean, also before every map, you give everybody a slap on the hand, get their heads in the game. So I mean, I honestly, I think Caden played a big role in the team's composure. And also, obviously, IGL, the decision making was really, really good by him.
Your Bassie's got some good points
now-
there. Caden's nade's the only thing that can shut down Maxi.
Yeah, that was true.
Yeah.
Very, very true. But the other question then to end this off, Juan, is now that the LAN's done and dusted, team changes with Viben. What's going on with Viben? What's to come?
Well, if I have to be honest, we all know this as well in our team at least, and I'm pretty sure people know this already. Max has interest in going overseas. While his family is going to move over, so we'll probably need to team change, not because of anything, but because he has to go. So
Yeah.
we'll probably have to get a team change because of that. And then maybe also later on in the year, Caden might also have to dip to overseas. Yeah, I think he has something going on there as well. So yeah, Viben at the moment, I think we're going to stick together for as long as we can until they do actually go, and then only then we'll make team changes. But yeah, I'm very happy with the team right now.
Yeah, I said as soon as Max puts his foot on the plane, then we can start making those changes. 'Cause,
Yes.
You know, I'm not letting go of Maxi until he puts his foot on that plane and he takes off.
So he like
No,
has
facts.
to leave, like pride from your hands is
Yeah.
what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what a way to leave to win a LAN and say cheers.
Not a bad one. Not a bad one to end on. That's pretty good. Yeah, but I think that's going to be all she wrote from you,
Yeah.
Mr. Max. Not Max, sorry. See, you're talking about him so much.
Mr.
Mr. Juan. Thank you very much for coming through, man.
No, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed speaking about all the stuff. It was a good time.
100%, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you, BT.
We'll catch you in a bit,
Cheers,
man.
cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Let me quickly
You
turn
know,
this camera.
he left
before-
now. Yeah, he left now. Now I want to see if he actually closes OBS.
Ah, he did. Okay, he did. Good man.
Okay.
Good man.
It would have been so nice to take off the shirt and just
Yeah.
flex his parts on cam, but that's not what's gonna happen.
Not today. Not today. Okay. Right. So, the next thing we're going to talk about here is prizes. So, or like it's like the
awards.
prize giving awards. And we had a chat about this a bit earlier. And let's see. I'll go to our chat now to talk about what we said, what we agreed on. Okay. So.
Yeah, I'm looking at now. Yeah.
So we got Rookie of the LAN, and this is honestly, this is a no-brainer for me. I literally
Yeah,
cannot
let's-
think of anyone else than 999.
Yeah, Trip 9, 999, whatever you want to call him. Definitely Rookie of the LAN. He had one of the best performances that I think a rookie would ever have. I don't know what's his all-around KD, but that guy, he took over maps. So it was a definite no-brainer for him being Rookie of the LAN.
And but the thing is, he'd like feed off of his own energy. He'd absolutely and his team would also gas him. But I mean, once he started frying, he would shell things that I genuinely think no other normal human being would challenge. He'd just absolutely go and then win that fight as well. The only other person I saw moving in that intensity was Maxi. In terms of SMGs, that was a good sort of match for each other. It would be Trip 9 and Maxi.
Mm-hmm.
Those two would hit head to head every time.
And just to think, right, Trip 9 at home, I think he doesn't get more than 100 FPS when he plays on his PC.
Literally.
So he comes to a LAN, plays on main stage, and absolutely dominates. So I think that guy's ceiling is very, very high. So he's definitely one for the future. Oh, not for the future, but for right now and the future.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of talk about Ariel. We'll get to that. Next thing, we're going to say, this is a bit of a tough one, and it's a bit objective, but the player that we were the most disappointed with, or we feel underperformed the most, and I had, who did I have initially?
Enigma.
I had Enigma initially, but then we re-looked again, and we had a conversation.
Yeah.
I think we came to the agreement that we said that Hill sort of went under the radar, which is something we weren't expecting
Yeah.
for a caliber of him. So what are your feelings on that?
Yeah. So my take on the underperformance was for Raz, and Raz is one of those guys that was the best AR for quite a while. I think Alton had that reigns when he was still playing as the AR, and then Rahil. But for this LAN, he just wasn't the old Raz that we used to love, right? Taking over maps, making sure rotations come in. So yeah, he just didn't do it for me this LAN.
especially his S&D performances. I think in the winners semi or against Nixa, in both of the S&Ds when it did go to a game 5, I don't think he got more than 4 kills in 2 S&D games. So he really had a shocker. His S&D game was probably what let the team down, I'm going to be honest with you. And then they got knocked out. I think they placed 5th?
4th?
5th or 4th?
Yeah. 4th, wasn't it? Yeah. It was Viben, Aerial, Nixa, Dow.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, sure. That was a tough one. Anyways, okay, so we spoke about most underperformance. Best map performance. I mean, we alluded to this a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we hinted a bit. And it has to go to Vitals, right? 14-2 in the grand final, nonetheless, in Search and Destroy against Aerial. Juan mentioned it on, or I call it Los Polos or Mercados. Absolutely, just took over. So I think that was just a no-brainer for map performance of the LAN.
Well, I mean, he swayed that map. I think he picked up streaks after the 2nd round or something ridiculous. And then he just sat on them like it was crazy. That was a really out of the box.
I had a chat with the team just after saying, listen here, because we went into this knowing that our S&D could be stronger, and it isn't the strongest. But after Friday's scrims, the team got together and said, listen here, I think we need to change things completely for Search and Destroy. And they did, and just I don't think the teams could read them, or Vitals in that case, where he just popped off.
No, it was unbelievable. So, but I mean, it's just been Viben really came to play, and then we have another one here, surprise team for the LAN. So we're going to do surprise team and then dark horse. So surprise team, we also debated this a little bit, but I'm going to have to give it to Nutty Crew. Not a lot of people knew them. I knew the guys. I'd met them and I played with them a bunch online. But when I met them all in person, they're really such swell gentlemen. But the fact that they made winners quarters and no one really saw that coming, right? And they really gave Dow a run for their money in the respawn. So like that's not a team to be slept on. I'm pretty sure they're going to be a team we can even watch throughout the 2023 season.
Yeah, no, they were like, one of the, mid-tier dogs, getting in there and causing an upset or two. But on my side, my surprise team, I'm going to change this to what I actually told you, but I would say Monarch. Monarch was actually one of the teams that, a lot of people thought, okay, well, it's just going to be, if you're a top tier, if you're a Nixa or a Dow, it's just going to be one of those teams. It might be tight, but you're still going to win this. But my team literally told me like Monarch was one of the most difficult games to play at that LAN. And you and I, if you can still remember, Josh coached like against Viben. Dude, the guy was a demon.
I think that must have been, but that's a bit of history there, obviously, with Coach coming out and he was on the team and he's a really nice guy, like genuine. Ben as well, Ben Platty, he played on my PC, I brought it up for him, and he was like, dude, as soon as I get home, I'm selling all my computer parts because your PC, man, like, I was getting like 150 frames, normally I play on 90, and I was like, dude, it was really cool. But yeah, so I will agree with you. I think we could say Nutty Crew and Monarch were the teams that really showed through and like really, I mean, made a name for themselves when I suppose we weren't really expecting it. And then our dark horse, right? So the team, we were going to say most unexpected team was Aerial, but it's not, because even before the thing started, we were like, this is definitely going to be a dark horse team, and they play second, right? Yeah. And I want you guys to know that Aerial had the shittest time at the LAN trying to get everything together. The first night, Friday night, we were there. I was there until after 12 helping them with PC issues. And they literally were up until 1 o'clock on Friday night fighting a PC, and then eventually had to lend one from one of the players, Vogum, if he's in the chat, who was playing in the LAN, in the Naglan area. So they found a replacement PC, luckily. And then the next day, because of the schedule, they had to play until 1 again, where they took Dow out in the winner's quarter to put themselves in the winner's semis. So, like, it's crazy. They really made a sincere run all the way to losers finals, where they beat Nixa in, I think it was 3-1 in the end, and that was crushing. Nixa was crushed after that. It was tough. And then they coming from the losers bracket, they go to game 5, round 11, like nearly forcing the second series. It was crazy. So like
Yeah.
Ariel, I really think that they are absolutely the second best team in the game at the moment. Like no chance,
Oh.
no doubts in my mind.
100%. They had the most difficult times through. They played like Viben would have loved to play Dow just because of the Frosty and Hero situation playing against each other, but Ariel had to go through all the top dogs, all the they had to play Viben twice. They had to play Dow. They had to play Nixa. I think they played Monarch as well. So they played every single person to get to the top. So I think they comfortably the second best team in this game.
And they were all so nice. Not one of them was angry for the whole thing. It was crazy. Like genuine. They're such like salt of the earth people. I really like the Ariel team. They were like I hung out with them probably the most out of all the teams, and they were really sweet people. Like genuine.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. What do we got next here? We got best AR. So who do you think is who was the best AR?
So for me, best AR. Well, he's actually a second AR, but I'll give it to him, and it has to be Heroes. Obviously, he's on the winning team side as well. But Heroes just with an AR just took over maps, and he shut down angles. And we worked out KDs last week, and Heroes had a 1.23. 1 point something, but for LAN, anything 1.1 and up is
insane.
Like, it is insane, but it has to go to Heroes. He's been shutting it down as an AR player, second AR player.
It was crazy, and like Sean was saying, it is really crazy how much of an IGL role he played and the way he spoke and how hyped he'd get. Then all stand, even when Bokman was shooting him, like play your own game. That was really hilarious, but like. Yeah, all kudos completely to Caden. Man, really pulled it together.
Yeah.
And like we said a bit earlier, this might be his last LAN. And I think that for him to take a chip off of that, it's pretty much like a Cinderella story for him, which is great.
Yeah. And to be honest, if we had an award for a sharpshooter with a sniper, it would go to him too.
100%.
Like,
Man did not
that's
miss.
it. The sniper gameplay from him was just unmatched.
And then we're going to combine the last one, which is best sub, and we're going to also throw in MVP because we spoke about it a lot. And that's Maxi, right? I mean, the man was picked him up a week before, and he just took over. Like, even speaking to him, he was just so confident.
Yeah.
Even, like, I vlogged the whole thing. I haven't edited that. I just never had the time. But he just speaking to him, he was just so confident. He was like, we're going to do this. And the way he played just really proved that. It was crazy.
I don't think anyone can deny that Maxi is MVP of this LAN. 1.38 KD is what he ended it with. That whole Sunday ending with a 1.38 is something unheard of. So yeah, it's a no-brainer that he should definitely walk away with the C3ZA MVP.
And the fact, like on maps like Hydro, he would just find a way through. He would just find a way through. Genuine, he would find a way into the back and get a pinch every time. So he was not only putting up crazy numbers, he was making the correct plays, like out of the box thinking, getting the flank in, and like finding a two-piece when he shouldn't. So he absolutely, he was the man who pulled it together, in my opinion, for Viben. If you didn't have Maxi, I really feel like Viben would have had a much tougher time. I must agree with you.
I agree, 100%.
Oh, okay. So we're going to talk about two more things. These are sort of like the last spicy things before we end things off here. We've been going for about an hour, just about. This is a big one and a bit of a knock, in my opinion, to the Call of Duty scene, is the fact that Nyx is no longer going to be, or not going to have anything to do with Call of Duty in South Africa anymore. They've stepped away completely. And that comes off the back of Bevan leaving.
So if you guys didn't see, Nyx did tweet out Bevan leaving to Ariel in the place of Stark. Is it right? Stark?
I believe so.
Is the name of, so he's stepping out. If you're asking my opinion, yes, Bevan is a brilliant player to have in any team, but you just play second and now you're making a team change. So in that point of view, as management of Ariel, I'm thinking, why should I make a change? Why am I making a change? Maybe there's more into it, but Bevs then is joining Ariel, and they released Jordan, that CODZA Intel has tweeted. They released Scorpio. So it doesn't look like Nixa is going to host a Call of Duty team in South Africa. Now, I might have my disagreements with Nixa and my I wouldn't call it hatred, but just not liking them too much. But that just comes from a competitive standpoint. It would be stupid of me saying that I'm happy they're gone, and that's not the case.
It is absolutely not. I agree.
It's a complete knock, and they're a good org, a established good org. So them stepping away from CODZA is definitely not ideal. Do I see them coming back? Yes, 100%. If they have the right players, I think they're going to be there. They clearly, you could see they're not happy if they're not a top team, and I don't think with the current FAs and the current players out there that they can be a top team unless they want to poach, and I don't know if they really want to do that right now. So I think that's why they want to step away. And what happens to Premium, what happens to the rest of the team, I don't know, but hopefully they can come around, make a good squad, and get back into it.
Yeah, I mean, they did play with the pickup, that being Otto, and we also spoke about him not having the best performance, especially not in control. He really struggled in control.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nixa didn't only release the card side, they released a bunch of content creators as well, including me. So if any orgs are watching right now, what's up, free agent? Basically that's the whole story, is that Nixa's gone for the foreseeable future, and they're focusing on things like Rocket League, and because those are really big scenes at the moment. And CSGO, I mean, it would be silly for them not to continue putting efforts in there, and they're pretty well established. But regardless, it's a huge knock and pretty sad. And the last thing we were going to chat about is what's to come in 2023, or at least what we know is to come. And the one thing that I can confirm off the top of my head, and this I'm going to say outright, is another C3. Whether or not it's ending with a LAN is yet to be seen, but Predator has 100% been giving funds back to SGL to host another one, and it is likely that the funding is going to only get bigger because of the support for this LAN.
Yeah, well, you basically get all the info that you need. Means don't stop playing, don't get rid of your team, start competing. I know the 9th of January, ACGL starts with the Call of Duty 2v2s and the 2Ks on Sundays again. So make sure you guys get in for that. It's not going to go away. We're going to keep on playing. And believe me when I'm telling you, we are in the discussion with Middle State to get not just a online, cup going, but LANs as well. So I can almost guarantee you that there will be more LANs happening in Modern Warfare 2. So
yeah, 100%.
Just keep playing, and hopefully rank play comes out soon too.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a good point. Rank play is a good place to, this is interesting. So the last thing I'll say on the topic before we close off is 999 was picked up from ranked play in Vanguard, and he became rookie of the year in rookie of the game at a LAN. So that's, if you guys are wondering about where things can start picking up, as soon as they start adding ranked, grind that shit, man. Get out there, play the game, show the support, and I promise you the community will be rewarded for it. If everyone is showing support for the game and the tournament organizers, it'll come back to us, I promise you.
Oh, for sure. And I'm telling you now, if we keep going, VS Gaming will yet again look at us and say, yo, maybe it's time. We've walked away for 5 years now. Maybe it's time to get back in. And believe me, when they were in, a LAN was guaranteed every October, November time. So let's, keep on going, keep Twitter clean. Let's make a noise again. It's CDL happening the 2nd of February, and the online CDL games start again next week. So we have a lot of Call of Duty to watch and even more Call of Duty to play. So, I think 2023 is going to be a very good year for COD.
Couldn't agree more, man. So everyone, keep the support up, and we'll be here. We're going to be doing, I'm assuming, some normal streams to come. I didn't thank Reverse. I have respect for that subject. Thank you, brother, for the 9 months. Appreciate it, and all the support, and to come back. And I mean, the fact that there were over 20 of you in here, and it was a random Tuesday, and it's been load shedding, the support. It'll only get bigger, guys. So thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you guys very soon.
Yeah, guys. Have a good night.